So I think that a bio should be basically told by the person, not really wrote by some intern or a friend or a buddy or whatever. So I think I don't know. I think everybody in life we go through things that are kind of strange, and our upbringing makes the difference of who we are. Uh, I came from Gary, Indiana. It was a poverty-stricken area in the 70s and 80s. My dad worked for the railroad. My mom was president of the school board. She did a lot of things for our little league, and that was the backbone. I had a brother that got murdered when I was there, when I was very young, and it changed a lot of the outlook and things that I see in life as a young man, and it's changed me a lot as a person that's now in my 50s. This is when the pandemic is going on right now. It's mid-July 2021. But I started out just tattooing since 1979 as like a kid. I love tattooing. I decided to go ahead and make a career out of it when I got out of the service. But I said, well, the times are different. I served in the Iraq War. I got out. I decided to go ahead and do something different with my life. I contacted Huck Spalding and showed him some skin I call guinea pig skin, which is the synthetic skin that a lot of you use. A couple months later, I had, which when you sign contracts with people, it's called disclosure. You can't mention them. It's just crazy. So I sold it for $50,000, and I invented the tattoo practice skins back in the 90s when I got out of the service. And I regret that because now it's worth millions and millions of dollars, but you do foolish things when you're a kid. So then after that, I decided to just go ahead and tattoo. I tattooed all over the world. I went to Paris, France, Germany, everywhere. I mean, I went to the Bahamas. I tattooed out there. I met a lot of celebrities and different people. Had a lot of good times, a lot of good party times. This is back when we had to make our needles. We had to make our own needles back in the day, people. Yes, you old schoolers know what I'm talking about. We had little jigs and we had to put the needles inside them and solder them up correctly. And if they weren't, you threw them away and you had to buy our thing from Dermographics or Huck Spalding. We had to make our own inks. We had to buy the powders from Huck Spalding Enterprises, and we had to make our own inks and do our own things. And we had these little pieces that we had to shave off. We didn't have stencils. We had these little things that you had to have that it's like a cellulite, and you made stencils and you put them in your drawer. Because back in the days, we tattooed Ted Naden's spider web, Huck Spalding and different people. There was just a handful of artists, and we just did the same old tattoos basically all day. Well, yeah, there's that. You want that one? I've done that one 38,000 times, and that's just how it was. But now that the tattoo industry's got better, I decided to go ahead and start inventing stuff. So I tattooed from mid 1994 up to about 2014, and then carpal tunnel and everything else, and you get older. So after that, I went ahead and said, you know what? I start using all these ointments and things, and I was like, well, I'll just invent some ointments. And in 2012 was actually when I started with them at the Shane O'Neill show. Well, let's get back to my bio. So, anyways, I decided to go ahead at the same time. I became an artist and started sketching out Flash, and I was the only American artist to be offered a job by Cam Supply in a long time. That I noticed that they hired me, and you can see that it went through about 5 or 6 years in their catalog, and I had a great sale. Tattoo Johnny, I sold on Tattoo Johnny. I was like, oh, this is cool. I was actually making about the same amount of money just doing art. I would do street art, and I would go out and do different things with people. And before you know it, I would be like, hey, this is cool. And you're just drawing on a piece of paper, and you're like, this is wow. This guy gave me $100 for 11 by 17 drawing of Jimi Hendrix or something like that, and I don't own the Jimi Hendrix because I know some of the haters will be out there like, oh, we got him. Haters. We'll get to that in a minute. So I'd start drawing Flash. I did some of the Beatles, this, that, other Johnny Depp. Just people that were actors, and I'd sell them the originals for $50, $20. And I was like, this is weird. I mean, I enjoy doing the drawings. Lo and behold, I would say We put that on the back burner for a while. Then I went ahead and started doing all the ointments. The Shane O'Neill show, he was one of the winners from Ink Masters and stuff. I went to his show and I was like, okay, I got Stencil Bond. So I invented my first product, which was Stencil Bond. Went on the skin, which we still sell today, and it sealed it. I just don't know how I invented it. I didn't have my Harvard education and all that yet, and everything else, and all my other education. But I was just like, wow, since I did the synthetic skin, the practice skin, maybe I can get this going, and it worked. So I thought, okay, so what else can I do? So I went out and I started looking at some of the products, and I was like, I can probably do this, this, and so. So, anyways, I put the stencil on, the stencil off. It was all natural, and I figured it out. It's like, well, I'm pretty good at this, so I'm going to go ahead and take these to the show. So I invested about $4,000 of my money, and I said, well, I hope this takes off because I got $4,000 in it. And lo and behold, at Shane O'Neill show, I sold $33,000 worth of products. I was like, in 3 days, I was like, there's no way. Wow. I mean, Terrell was there. I mean, some of these big stars were there. I was like, wow. You had a lot of the Ink Masters because it was just new. Remember, it was the Ink Master. It's like, damn, there's no way, man. I mean, the first day I saw $8,000 of products. I had to actually go that day and go get different bottles and everything else because I only bottled up a certain amount. So we had to stay up all night in the hotel, and I actually hired these two guys that were tattooists from, I forgot where they're from, I think Tennessee. And I said, I'll give you guys some money, man. I got to get this stuff done. We got to bottle some. We stayed up all night bottling stuff every night. So, anyways, then the orders roll in. So I made about $12,000 there, and then the orders start coming in. Well, then unfortunately we had a fire. I had some people that we were in a small town, and I started doing artwork for different people and different celebrities, and they got jealous and they just decided to burn our house down. And in the basement of our house, we had a beautiful house, about 5,000 square foot, and the basement was completely done. So we decided to go down there, and that's where we would start our company. So we were in the basement doing all our stuff, and boom, Killer Ink called, Cam Supply called, Painful Pleasures. I mean, it just kept going crazy. Lo and behold, some guy was jealous of it. I think he was another local tattooist. He was a trip, and that's a pun. And before you know it, other people start getting like his marching orders or whatever, and we just never got to the bottom of it. Who did it? And they just burnt it down. We lost about $250,000 plus our house. We lost $500,000 that day, and then our business was over. So fast forward. I said, okay, I started doing the shows. I started getting back into tattooing, and I was like, okay, cool. Lo and behold, I was like, you know what? I think the best thing for me to do is go back in this art. So I went to the Nashville show with Ben Dixon and started out, and I did some sketches, and I went to the Days of the Dead show, and I was like, I ain't gonna make nothing here, man. I'm gonna make pennies. I was like, this is going to be a total trip. I mean, to see if I can make any money here. So I drew a lot of the horror and sci-fi people that would be there, and I drew the Hunchback of Notre Dame. Old classic Universal monsters, man. Hyper realism. I mean, these things were badass. So I said, okay, I'm gonna set them to the side. I'll sell them for $100. If I can, maybe it's $50. These things took me 5 hours to do. All right, I'm sitting there. I'm like, all right, cool, man. So I'm like, hey, I'll sit here for another 2 hours. I paid like $500 for my booth, and I'm like, man, and it was only an hour and a half drive from my house. So long story short, different artists and actors start coming over, major actors start coming over. It's like, wow, there's Danny Trejo was there. There was just different people. I mean, then I start seeing this guy named Chris Kiska. He came over. He's the bodyguard for Kiss and everybody else and all kind of rock stars. And he's like, is that real? And he takes his hand and he goes like that and he touches it. I'm like, he's like, oh my God, that's pencil. And I said, yeah, no, it's just pencil drawing, $50. He goes, $50? He said, oh, dude, don't do that. I was like, okay, so long story short, he goes and gets this guy named Lucas, and he comes over, and he's like, wow, So anyways, he had all these celebrities. I mean, Tom Savini, everybody just start coming over. They're like, what? Looking at it, freaking way that's real, and that's one of my problems is I can do this from memory. So, and I don't know how I get it. So long story short, I sold about $10,000 and stuff there. I started sketching live, and I was just about killing my hands, and I made about $10,000 in 3 days that I was like, there's just no way. So I started doing that. I got hired for major companies, and I was like, this is weird, man. See, I didn't ask for all that. I just was a tattooist, and I had a, my dream was to make tattoo ointments and, go on and be successful. For anyways, I did all that for about 5 or 6, 7 years, and then turned into 10 years, and then before you know it, I had a guy named Jason Willis and Eric White and Matthew Ashley and other people that were artists and lowlifes. They said, I had a bunch of sketch cards. So I started working for the big card companies. I can't mention them because I sued them and won all my cases. That's another story. So I went on. I'm like, okay, you turn in your cards to these companies, and if they don't approve them, they're supposed to throw them away. Well, they weren't throwing them away. A lot of these card companies, the big daddies, where there was an employee, I bet, just selling them out the back door. And they've always thought that over the years. So long story short, I see one of my cards from a lady from Australia, and she's like, I got your card, and I want to get another one. I'm going to be in the U.S. for a wedding or something like that. No, that's not supposed to be. That's a card that I was never paid for, and that's not supposed to be in the set. She said, well, I got it. So she sent me an email like, no way. So I went and talked to Jason Willis. I'm like, hey, dude, what's up? Oh, he's Mr. Big Shot, and he's got this big Star Wars place and on Facebook and big, it was just crazy. Man, I'll ruin your career. Who the hell you think you are? And the next day he tried. Oh, he's doing fake art. Look, all pixelation. And he's showing these cards that they're like this is an original Star Wars card blank, see? So this is one that I'm a licensed artist for Star Wars, Walking Dead, and everybody else on the planet anymore. So you do this and you sign, you do the art on here. How the hell are you gonna stick that in a printer? I mean, it's ignorant. You're printing them out, and you got pixelation. Then you had all these fake people putting on there, and there's like 21 artists report that they never approved because there wasn't 21 artists. And you tattooists know the haters start crawling out when you start crawling up. You crawl up to the top, and they're just like, oh no way, man, I'm gonna drag you back down. No, you're not gonna drag me nowhere. I'm from Gary, not Mayberry. You know what I'm saying? You ain't gonna drag me nowhere. Okay, I'm 6'2", 320 pounds. It's gonna be a hell of a drag. So, anyways, I'm like, all right, go ahead and talk. And long story short, they talk. We got all these blogs and all these, Then I became a baseball artist for this company, and I started doing things for Disney for this company, that company, and I'm like, boom, I lost all my contacts. They're like, well, until you clear your name, we're gonna put you on hiatus. I said, I was fine before I met you, so that's cool, So then I went to court and slammed them, and before you know it, it turned into a hundreds of thousands of dollars lawsuit. I mean, it went from just suing guys for 15 grand and their companies to suing every different social media companies, website companies, and my lawyer went nuts. He had 13 lawsuits. It was way up there. They settled out and we won every case. So I was like, all right. But the best thing is I went live on Facebook, and you can see this here on my, you can go left or right and see all these videos of me drawing. That was the original drawings I did from start to finish, up close, right after the lawsuit, because my attorney said that. So that's what started it. So I took the lawsuit money and I bought a bunch of rental properties. I bought a bunch of Harleys, a couple Rolexes, got me a nice Rollie and things like that. That just, I don't know, flash as they call it, because I'm like, I came from a very poor neighborhood, and it's like, well, okay, cool. So I got me some real nice stuff, but then that just really, that's all material things. I'm like, I want to start my company back up. So I went ahead and decided to start my company back up. So here I am. So I started Skins and Tattoo Products, because the products themselves that are on the market today, as all you artists know, I mean, come on, man. They're putting, you can watch all my videos here and you'll see they're putting waters and fillers and this, that, and other. So I went a step further, and I just got my education. I went to the HMX EDX course for Harvard University's biochemistry. I mean, I went and got a pharmacology degree, got herbalism degree, a nutritional degree, a practitioner degree. I mean, all this, making medicine degree. And I went and got all these degrees, when the pandemic hit. And so for about 4 years, I mean, I hustled it up and because I wanted to be the only CEO that has the proper education for this. And it worked out. And I just didn't do that to be Mr. Flash like all the base. I mean, when you look at me, I'm like you guys. I'm tatted up. I'm from the ghetto, and I made it out. But I got educated completely. I didn't just get educated, 8 degrees now. You know, I mean, it's just, it was a struggle, but I used my money the wise way. So I invested about $250,000 into my Skins In tattoo products. I have $1 million in inventory now. And the pandemic hit, we had to take that to cold storage, regular storage, and get it all done. This is all natural. So this is my mission statement to you. Our products are, I invent new products because I invented the tattoo practice skins, and I try to invent new products that are real. I mean, you'll see me take bottles and drink them. I mean, because that shows you that they're real. I'm not going to ingest poison, but a lot of the tattoo companies and sellers and everybody that wants to go out and hustle your money and everything else, uh, they're like, hey, we got the best products because you can't prove this, that. I'm telling you right now, most of it is just basic lotion base and just junk, and it's the truth. And I'll go against any company there is. I mean, I, I ain't scared. I ain't scared, man. If you want to go against me, that's fine. I just went through a big controversy and I came out on top. But that's not how it is, man. If you want to come out and say, this is my product. I did that at Shane O'Neill's show. I put my products against any. I said, you got any products? Yeah, I got this from this company. Yeah. Lay it out. Either we have the same quality, but our ingredients are 100% natural, no fillers. How about yours? And then I would take a little piece out and eat it. And the guy just, I mean, these people would step back like, man, you're gonna die, man. I'm like, oh, our products are 100% natural. Okay, the vitamin content in some of these things are so high you can't guzzle a bottle, But then you'll see me eat these things or drinking on because I'm showing you that they're real, and that's why I went ahead and registered my products now. I have a registered trademark, Skins In Tattoo Products, and Skins In is mine. It's registered to be. So we want to just go ahead and get 100% natural products out and vegan. Vegan. I have a degree now as a vegan nutritionist. Okay? I mean, I did that because people would be like, well, how about the vegan side? Okay, well, I have a vegan nutritional degree. I know how to make all these the proper way. So that's why I got trained, because I don't want anybody saying, how about this? So I just sat down and looked at all the training I wanted to do. I got that. Okay, no, I got that. Okay, did you do this? Yes, I've got that. And I did that for the tattoo community. I could have just took my money and invested in the stock market and made $2 million, right? Instead, I went ahead and decided to do the right choice and go ahead and redo this company. And I made this company for you, for me, and everybody else. You can continue to buy all the products off other companies. That's cool. That's fine. If you want 50% water, I watch my videos. I'm not here to dog these people. That's the truth. That's what major corporations do with their shampoos, their soaps, their makeups. I couldn't believe what I found out when I started getting the degrees and getting this education, that most cosmetics are just beeswax and a bunch of junk. It's the truth. And you pay $50 for it. Night creams and all that. You can make that at home for 50 cents. I mean, and like I said, go do your homework and you'll see. So go to skinsintattooproducts.com and you can go ahead and see Amazon. We're sold worldwide on Amazon. We're going on Walmart. And we're going to be in a lot of the tattoo companies, and we'll see you at some tattoo conventions. But just remember, this is all for you guys, because I could have took my money and not done a damn thing. Or I could have just went ahead and made another generic company, said, oh, here's my products. They work. You buy them. I could have knocked off $3 a bottle, and most, it's not. You would have bought them. You're like, well, it works. It's the same junk these guys got. That's cool. I could have done that, right? I didn't do that. I decided to go ahead and do all natural and real products that are invented by me, and then come up with all these new products that you see. I mean, look at the cloth that I have. That I invented all the textile of it, everything, all the chemicals that go in are natural. See? And it takes the ink off. The tack cloth. I mean, look at all the stuff that we've got. The piercing. I mean, look at these things, man. You got these right here, the Stencil Off Deluxe. I mean, these things are crazy. This one right here, the Stencil Off, it comes in a bottle, but you've got this little pad. It comes off, and it can do a quarter sleeve. These little things are, I mean, because the textile is what it's all about, and the product that you put in there. And then the Hustle and Flow cream. I mean, come on. I synthesized that. It took over 2 months for me to figure that out, to get it where it actually takes the ink off in seconds. Just watch the videos, and if you have any suggestions or you want a product to go against ours, no problem. I'll see you at a show. No problem. You want to go live on Facebook? No problem. That's what I did when I had my controversy with my art and smashed them. And for any haters that are out there, stop hating. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. I don't hate you. So why would you hate me? It's crazy. For what? Changing the tattoo industry for the better? You guys try to have a good day. Try to stay safe. And as a person that has a Harvard education for biochem, I'm telling you, please get your shot. This is not political. I don't care what Donald Trump does, and I don't care what Joe Biden does. I'm independent. I see good in both them guys. But I'm going to tell you right now, you have to get your shot. There's no controversies. I've got mine, you know. It's all good. And if you don't, that's fine, because I'm not political, okay? I'm just telling you that that virus is here to stay. And I want to see you guys stay safe and, just give our products a try. If you have any questions, see me on a show or see me on the street, ask a question. I'm here for you. We have nothing to hide but everything to give. Stay safe.